There you go. All right, we're live all over. Okay. Start thinking music, baby. All right. All right. No.
Those of us that indulge in or commit intellectual violence don't do so for the pleasure of mental masturbation or ego diddling. We do so because the chains of oppression on our people's minds are deep and difficult to remove.
Good morning, my children of the sun. Welcome to the Open Eye on WHGE 95.3 FM, the Education Advocacy Station. I'm your host, Third Eye Optometrist, Patrice Gibbs. Good morning, Brother Vaughn. Wait a minute, that's still running. Okay. Good morning, Brother Vaughn. Sorry I'm a little late, y'all. Actually, I'm never late. I'm always on time, because when I show up, it's a good time. That's word. A lot of nerves sound a little arrogant, huh? Well, it is what it is, but I'm here, baby. I'm here. That's word. And I'm ready to get it started. Oh, wait a minute. Get to my bag of tricks. Oh, yeah. I got some stuff for you. Yes, indeed. I got some stuff for you. All right. Oh, you want to give me a call? You think you want to challenge me on something I said? Really? Hey, give me a call. Where that number at? Hold on. I got to pull my mic back. Okay, the number is 844-WHGE 953. That's 844-944-3953. You got the nerve, give me a call. And I will put you on the air. What are that? Okay, that's all right. Yeah, I will put you on the air. What's going on here? Okay, we all good. Yes, the WHGE 95.3 FM. We're coming along to, 3 or 4 years old? I don't know. But I will say this. It's amazing that the orange disaster call is just still rolling. I guess it's not, because it's white supremacy. You know? It's just something that people are so gullible and stupid. You know what? Let me tell you something. The difference between humans and animals is that animals will never allow the dumbest of the herd to lead them. You understand that? The dumbest of the herd to lead them. And that's what they do. And that's what we do. Because I will tell you that we could have did better than what we got. But of course we got out of something that was a lot worse. 6,472,200,000,000. That's how much we can seize from the billionaire class. Without even reducing the number of billionaires. That's how much money they got. That could entirely eradicate world hunger for 216 years. 1/20th of it would halt climate change by 2030. Oh, and remember, this doesn't even take a penny from people with only $1 billion. Just spent a while with a spreadsheet and the Forbes 2019 rich list. Thought I'd share it. That's it. Well, you know, I hope that you have been following the Derek Chauvin trial. Notice I did not say the George Floyd trial, because George Floyd is not on trial for murder. He was the victim. He was not on trial for murder. Derek Chauvin was. I saw a lady on Facebook said Chauvin's name is actually French. It's pronounced murderer. WHGE 95.3 FM. The Open Eye. The Open Eye is brought to you by. Wait a minute. Let me get it right here. Oh yeah. It's brought to you by the Delaware Center for Homeless Vets, founders and builders of the Pearl Center, the veteran-specific apartment building. Delaware Center for Homeless Vets, changing veterans' lives all over Delaware.
The views and opinions expressed on Open Eye are those of the host, guests, and contributors, and do not reflect the policy or position of WHGE 95.3 FM, nor our sponsor, the Delaware Center for Homeless Vets. Any content provided by Open Eye's hosts, guests, or contributors are theirs and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, company, or individual.
WHGE 95.3 FM. I will be joined soon by my partner in consciousness, Nsoromma. In the meantime, like I said, George Floyd was not on trial. You know, if you've been watching, prosecution really been eating their ass up. They really have. The witnesses were competent and straightforward. You know, the brother that was the MMA fighter, they tried to make him the angry black man. He wasn't having it. He remained calm. His responses were thoughtful and intelligent. They had that doctor up there. He really ate the defense team's ass up. You know, I don't care what was in his system. I don't care if he was drunk. I don't care if he was high. I don't care if he was sad. I don't care. That cop's knee should not been on that man's neck for almost 9 minutes. Period. End of story. That's it. And he had his hand in his pocket. Oh my God, you talk about casual murder. I'm just killing this N-word. Casual murder. Now, I'll tell you something. Now, before I go there, I want you... Yeah, I'm going to go here first. Okay. If you think Fox News is the only propaganda outlet for white supremacy, you're sadly mistaken. For the most part, most of the news outlets and media and what have you, it's owned by only 3 corporations. Well, guess what? God damn it, they don't own us. And I bring that up to tell you this. Now, of course, Fox News is on there talking crazy talk about, you know, well, it had to be something wrong with him, and maybe he had COVID, and this, that, and the other. Of course, he was on drugs and what have you. Not only Fox News. CNN said, well, you know, the trial is going on and it's not looking good for Chauvin and this, that, and the other. And we're going to be coming up with George Floyd's girlfriend and talk about their struggle with opioids. What the hell does that have to do with murder? With his murder? I don't care what he was on. That man's knee should not have been on his neck. See, the thing is, what we don't understand is propaganda. Okay? That's what we got to get a grasp on. understand the propaganda and the murder of black people by the state. In order for the state to get away with murdering, especially at genocidal levels, a targeted population in its society, that target population must be shown to be deserving of its fate. The propaganda must be swift, strong, constant, and there must be consistency in the demonization of the murder victim. No matter what the murder victim's station in life, no matter how they lived, no matter what their accomplishments, they must be shown in the worst possible light, a blight on society that we were better off without. Whatever mistakes or transgressions this person may have committed, whether they stole a candy bar from the corner store or was truant from school or spanked their kid, this must be exposed, embellished, and used as evidence of the victim's inability to live within acceptable social norms and thus the orchestrator of their own demise. Furthermore, the victim's transgressions must also be used as evidence of the entire target population's endemic pathology. Do you understand that? Let me run that by you again. The victim's transgressions must be used as evidence of the entire target population's endemic pathology. The propaganda must be so strong that the dominant population and even a percentage of the target population not only accepts the continuous abuse and murder of members of the target population, but blames that target population for the abuse and murder committed against them. That the abuse and murder that befalls the target population is a result of their inability to win the acceptance of the dominant population. The abuse and murder that befalls the target population is the result of their inability to win the acceptance of the dominant population. That is the propaganda that they put out there. And it's accepted. The propaganda must be so strong that the dominant population and even a percentage of the target population, I've said that again, because how many people in the Black Congressional Caucus signed on and voted for the 94 crime bill? God bless them. Cut the crap. Racism is America's religion. And propaganda has been its greatest tool in practicing the subjugation and murder of people of color. Specifically and primarily black people. America was founded on racism, and it's embedded in American society with such fanatic fervor that it is a factor in every stratum of the society's institutions. America is highly skilled at disseminating propaganda in support of its murderous, racist fanaticism because it has practiced doing so from its inception. Highly successful in branding the Native American a savage, the genocide that followed the propaganda reduced the Native American population from 60 million to 800,000. Successfully dehumanizing Africans, blacks in America had lived under the terror, oppression, rape, murder of chattel slavery for 400 years. The terror and subjugation of Jim Crow for another 100 years. And the disenfranchisement, murder, and mass incarceration of the new Jim Crow or James Crow Esquire era. For at least the last 50 or 60 years. The propaganda has been so strong, black people have even learned to hate themselves. Nowadays, America has been so successful in criminalizing its black population, countries all over the world, including countries in Africa, view blacks in America as over-sexualized, thuggish, criminal N-words who are unproductive and bring justified death on themselves. Sorry for it. Adolf Hitler is considered the most evil man in modern history. The history books tell us Adolf was a deranged madman, a murderous freak of nature. Europeans would have us believe Hitler was an aberration, something unusual. Was he? Consider this. Hitler studied America's murder and oppression of Native Americans and blacks to learn how to subjugate Jews. Consider this. Europeans, or whites, depopulated the North American continent of its indigenous people, murdering millions. Whites enslaved, oppressed, raped, murdered millions of black people. Consider this. Whites would riot, rampage, terrorize, and murder black people, sometimes just for their own amusement. Consider this. Black economic success can be very dangerous in America. The Greenwald section of Tulsa, Oklahoma, known as Black Wall Street, being the most tragic example of this. Black Wall Street, a very economically successful black community, was attacked and destroyed by jealous whites in 1921. Black Wall Street was the first community in America to be bombed from the air by Americans. 36 square blocks were looted and burned to the ground. Hundreds of blacks were murdered. No, Hitler is not an aberration, but evidence of the endemic pathology of the white community and white supremacy. The recent rash of murders of black people by law enforcement must be understood in the context of white supremacy and racism that is part of the very fabric of America. First, understand the goals of white supremacy for black people. Black people are to be exploited, enslaved, or killed. They are killing black men, women, and children. Tamir Rice was 12 years old when he was shot down by law enforcement. See, you have to understand something. These murders are tests to see how far they can go killing black people. As soon as someone is shot down by the cops, the propaganda kicks in strong. The victim is demonized and criminalized by the mainstream media. Then the reaction is gauged. And if too strong, the reaction and protests are demonized by mainstream media. Compare the Black Lives Matter protests to the insurrection of January 6th by white supremacists. When the Black Lives Matter protests took place, the police turned out in military gear. There were hardly any cops at the insurrection. They were outnumbered. The protesters of Baltimore were defined as a lynch mob by law enforcement. And this line was pushed throughout the media. Remember Baltimore when Freddie Gray was killed? Young people in Baltimore who were manipulated into violent action were quickly demonized by the mainstream media and defined as thugs. The dominant population was convinced the burning of a CVS store was much more evil than the murder of an innocent black man. Each time the reaction to the murders are gauged, is the reaction controllable? Can the violence be contained? Can the murders be made to be acceptable? Until the reaction is strong enough, until the consequences harsh enough, to make it too costly for law enforcement to murder black people, it will continue and probably escalate. Until we understand the use of propaganda and how to use it, the murders will continue to be justified. We can't wait until we're sitting in concentration camps to figure this out. I'm Patrice Gibbs. This is the Open Eye. I'll tell you about the 10 stages of genocide. Keep your eyes open. That's why you tune in here. The first is classification. People are divided into us and them. Us being defined as violent, pathological citizens who cannot win the acceptance of the dominant society, like I said. Symbolization. People are forced to identify themselves. Discrimination. People face systematic discrimination. How long has that been going on? Dehumanization. People equated with animals, vermin, or disease. Organization. The government creates special groups to enforce the policies. They've militarized the police. See, we view the police totally different from white people. White people view the police as an organization of safety, protect and serve. Like Ice Cube said, if you black, they nothing but beasts. Polarization. The government broadcasts propaganda that turn the populace against the group, like I explained. Preparation. Official action to relocate people begins. We've seen it happen right here, where people were moved out of a certain area for urban renewal. Yeah. Persecution, beginning of the murders, theft of property, and trial massacres. Extermination, wholesale elimination of the group. Like I said, Hitler didn't come up with that on his own. He studied what whites did in America. It is extermination and not murder because the people are not considered human. Denial. The government denies that it has committed any crime whatsoever. Hey, Sherry, what's up, brother? Brother Lawrence. All right. I'm Patrice Gibbs. Oh, let me get it straight here. WHGE 95.3 FM, the Open Eye. Time will stop when I'm on the road. Okay. I'm not sure what that means, Brother Vaughn, but okay.
Center for Homeless Vets is proud to announce Homeless Veterans Youth Integration Program and Incarcerated Veterans Transfer Program. HBRP and IVTP are the only programs that focus exclusively on
competitive employment for homeless veterans to provide job training, counseling, and job-based facilities, including job readiness, literacy, and skill training to expedite veterans into the workforce. Contact the Telegram Center for Homeless Vets at WHGE.org or call our office at 691-7411. That's 302-691-7411. Delaware Center for Homeless Vets. Changing perspectives live all over Delaware.
WHGE 95.3 FM, The Open Eye. If you got the nerve, I dare you. Call in 844-944-3953, and I will put you on the air. You want to argue? I'll argue with you, but remember, like I told y'all, be careful what you say, because I don't argue with people that Harriet Tubman would have shot, and I'll hang up on your ass. You come with some dumb stuff. I sure the hell will. You know, it's interesting how when we point out the systemic racism, white supremacists, oh, that's not going on. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. How can you say that? They don't know. You know what? It's even racist for you to say that. To imply that black folks are lying in a widespread way about racial injustice is itself racism, because it assumes that we as black people cannot be trusted to be accurate translators of our own experience. Like we imagine this. Not the case at all. Yes, sir. Now, I'll tell you something else here. Of course, we are aware, and it's not just Georgia. Voter suppression is not just going to... There are now 361 bills to restrict voting rights introduced in 47 states. That's up from 253 restricted bills as of February 19. A 43% increase in a month. Republican-controlled legislatures across America are trying to make it impossible to vote Republicans out by keeping black and brown people from voting. We must fight back against the new Jim Crow. The Georgia law is not in response to voter fraud. It is in response to voter turnout. That's what it's in response to. Now, I'm going to hit a couple of y'all where you live. Some of y'all ain't going to like this. Anybody know me? No, I don't give a damn. That's where I am not Christian, nor Muslim, nor Hebrew. However, I know there is a creator. Question, or rather questions. If your slave master were not a Christian, what would you be? What if I told you Jesus never existed, but was a creation of Roman Emperor Constantine at the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD? Oh, I know. Many of you say Jesus was black. Let me tell you something. Dipping the mythology in chocolate does not make it real. Religion is about control. The major religions, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, you know what they are? They're male chauvinist murder cults. These religions are not major by quality of their truth, but by the quantity of their violence. Most of you declare you believe, which means you don't know. You don't have to take my word for anything I stated. Do the research. Question. Why do you end your prayer by saying Amen? What does Amen mean? Look it up. You know, you are aware that the church has truly empowered black people. The government would have shut their ass down a long time ago. You do know that, don't you? You know, there was a time when churches did empower black people. The black church did. They had a liberation theology. And Dr. Clark said, if it's not an instrument or a tool of your liberation, you need to toss it in the trash can of history. It needs to go. WHGE 95.3 FM, The Open Eye. 844-944-3953. I'm Patrice Gibbs. In the studio, joining us, Nsoromma.
Yaga! Yaga! You
Yes,
know
sir.
how I get there.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, Mr. I'll be here.
Yeah, 33 jobber.
Yo!
33 jobber.
Good morning, world. What's good? Yaga!
Yes, indeed. WHGE 95.3 FM. The Open Eye. What's up, brother? What's up?
You got it, homie.
All right, what you got there?
I got the light for the tripod.
Oh, okay.
For the phones.
Oh, okay. Sucky.
I said, son.
Hey, look, I was late.
You was?
Yeah, I was. Forgot some stuff.
Oh, you had to go back.
Had to go back.
See, that's where the car come in.
Bigger than big. It's coming. It's
I know,
coming.
that's where your whip come in.
Yep. Yes, indeed.
Hey.
Yeah, buddy. Okay. Well, we're going to have to get to this discussion. Let's see here. All right. Thank you, Steve, for the happy birthday wish. Late as it is. Big ups, my man. Okay. Yeah, we'll get right to this. Yeah. Whoa. Brother D. WHGE 95.3 FM, The Open Eye. I'm your host, Patrice Gibbs, third eye optometrist. Joined by Nsoromma, our intellectual surgeon. All right. What is premeditated ignorance? All right. Premeditated ignorance is a quality or condition of deliberate unawareness. It is when people do not know because they don't want to know. Because if they did know, they would have to take responsibility for the knowledge. And they would thereby be required to renegotiate their identity and to relinquish the status, privilege, and authority that are derived from the false order of knowledge. You dig that? At the very best, they would be compelled to leave their comfort zone. Something we do all the time. And you come here, you're going to leave your comfort zone because we're going to make your ass uncomfortable. You believe that?
It ain't my fault.
I mean, you know, look, if you didn't know, okay, we're going to tell you. Did you know? I mentioned this actually last week. 90% of the black people lynched were business owners. They don't want to talk about that. They killed the ones who could read, who had businesses, who seemed educated, and forever, and I mean not forever, and whoever they felt was a threat. Hey, Uncle Richard told me, ain't nothing a white man with a penny hate more than a black man with a nickel. And they've shown us that. Which is why we must deal with not only political empowerment. Political empowerment is actually nothing without economic empowerment, which is what we got into last week. Now, I had mentioned that we must, okay. Brother Vaughn told me he has a book for me. Unholy. The Slaves, what's it? The Slaves Bible by David Charles Mills. I've heard of that. Yeah, I look forward to that, Vaughn. I know he got some stuff for me. All right. My plan, as I said, passed down from the elders, is organized unity for progressive revolution. That means unifying with a purpose, not just unifying for the sake of being together. Progressive revolution. Progressive. I use words with a purpose. Progressive means forward moving. Revolution means change. Forward moving change. Organized unity for progressive revolution. And the purpose is to form a vast national black community that is unified and organized. And that must be supported by economic endeavors. Yay. I had mentioned last week the place to start was with footwear. And Nsoromma somewhat disagreed with me. Right. He said that, we got to, get into banking. And I agree that we indeed knew, and we have some black-owned banks. But what we have to understand, bro, is banks are a tool for financial management. And everybody can't participate in that financial management unless they're raised up. And by forming a corporation that all of us can participate in, that will bring us economic empowerment. The footwear industry is very lucrative with no small thanks to black people. This is where we can claim our piece of the pie. A footwear manufacturing corporation owned and operated by the organized, unified national black community. If black people take a fraction of what we spend on overpriced sneakers and invest in such an endeavor, not only could we unify and organize, but we could also stop being dependent job seekers. When you take a job at OUNBC Footwear Corporation, you won't be just workers, but co-owners. And this endeavor can also serve as a springboard for organizing. The first time one buys a share in the company, they automatically become a member of the national community. Everybody buy a share. 30 million black Americans. We could take the sneaker from the cow and the rubber tree to the consumer's foot. Everybody buy a share. Shares should be made inexpensive enough so anyone can afford and at least buy one. Buy your children a share. Make it a point of pride that they have a share of the Organized Unified National Black Community Footwear Corporation. Everybody gotta feel that they're a part of our endeavor. We have the money. We got the money. Now there are those of us with the know-how, so it can be done. This could be our foundation and the glue that binds. Now another thing is our political involvement. At this stage of the game, we are not a very politically astute people. We foolishly remain loyal to one party because we can clearly see the elitism and racism in the other party while failing to recognize the same thing in the party we remain loyal to. We set ourselves up to be used by one party and written off by the other. Our political foolishness is caused by our unorganized disunity. If we learn to vote as an organized national community, we could influence everything from the national budget to foreign policy. When our elected leaders speak, they would carry the clout and strength only massive, consolidated, organized unity would give them. We could change the entire scope of American politics in one election.
Right.
In one election. The national community should be governed on the principles and theories of the ancient African constitution. The primary qualification is that you be black to the cause. You can't come Stacey Dash. The people are the first and final source of all power. The well-being of the community of the people is superior to the well-being of any one individual. No leader or elected official is a power of their own accord, but is an instrument of the people responsible for executing the will of the people. And I'm gonna carry on with that because we got something else we got to get into here, bro. Let me pull it up here. All right. We lost a legend, brother.
Right. Who you talking about?
DMX.
DMX, yeah.
Yeah,
but
brother.
You know, he was struggling with a bad disease anyway, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, when you really around all your friends and, you know, they still doing what you don't really get it, what you not really into, you can tend to lose, you know, peer pressure. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, but
it is, man.
Everybody must go, but you never know how you're going to go either, so
that's word.
I say be careful.
Yes, indeed. And for those of you that don't know, DMX, beloved rapper, songwriter, actor, I thought he was a hell of an actor. I really did. I wanted to see, unfortunately, you know, he got caught up, you know, like you said, with that disease.
I thought he was a hell of a father out of all that what he was doing.
I heard that.
I thought that the father aspect of his life, no matter what he was doing, the drugs and everything, he still looked out for his Ibns like that.
I heard that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed.
That's where it really starts. No matter what type of addiction you got, you have to take care of your family first. You know what I'm saying?
Right. The family said that we are deeply saddened to announce today that our loved one DMX, birth name Earl Simmons, passed away at 50 years old at White Plains Hospital and with his family by his side after being placed on life support for the past few days. Earl was a warrior who fought until the very end. And like you said, he loved his family with all his heart, and we cherish the times we spent with him. Earl's music inspired countless fans across the world. I saw a concert that was in a stadium. Brother, it was a sea of people of all color to hear DMX's message.
Right.
You know, rest in peace, brother, at 50. We lost you too soon.
That's right.
And you heard Nsoromma's words on that, his admiration, and I can understand Nsoromma being a father himself.
Most definitely.
You know, his admiration for DMX as a father.
And it seemed like it's like a crazy thing about all of the, you know, famous musicians and stuff like that. You know, it's crazy how, you know, most of all of them died from overdose or something like that. You know, all these genius minds that, you know,
are taken from us too soon.
Right.
You know,
it be on some old drug stuff. You know what I'm saying?
And you know, of course, we look at that, of course, with the side eye for a reason. And that reason being that when you see someone's demise, especially someone who was influential and was opening people up, you know, it makes you wonder. And because, because we have that going on, like you said, in our community, and it dates back, you know, Billie Holiday, prime example.
Yeah, and that was one of the first starts of it. From her song Apples on the Tree.
Strange Fruit.
Strange Fruit, you know? From the Strange Fruit song, she was targeted, like worse than Martin Luther King and worse than any other black activist that was out to uplift our people. And, you know, I mean, just because you're out to uplift our people don't mean that we hate you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
It's about, you know, getting yourself together. You know, washing your own butt. You know what I'm saying? If you can't wash your own butt, yeah, you need help. But if you got two hands and you mentally sane and know that you can use this water and soap, you supposed to do that.
Doggone right. And of course, Billie Holiday, the propaganda was, notice that word, the propaganda.
Propaganda always lives in our lives. It's never in their life.
No.
They don't never have a propaganda.
No, because they control the media.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Which is why we do what we do. But the propaganda on Billie Holiday was that she died from a drug overdose. No, she didn't.
She was killed. Man.
She was murdered.
Yes, she was.
She was murdered.
Just like Martin Luther King. He didn't die from a bullet wound. He was murdered. When he got to the hospital, they could have saved him. White people chose to go, don't touch that N-word. You see what I'm saying? And
well, you know,
how long is this going to last, man?
Yeah.
Does the world have to become ashes before they realize that we are all one human being, period? And, you know, give me my space and leave me alone. And I will appreciate it very much. I don't care what you say over there, what you do over there. Don't bring it over here to this side.
That's word.
That's crazy.
Yeah, buddy. Well, brother, we are coming around to the close of the show.
We always fast.
Yeah, I know. It goes so fast, man. You know.
Always fast.
I'm telling you.
Show, you know?
I'm telling you. But let me deal with some
Tighten
people.
Tighten it up, baby. Tighten it up.
You're right. It's interesting the reactions I get when I tell people that I'm a writer and published author.
Because they look at you, right?
Yeah. You know, they look at you like...
deceiving, man.
Yeah,
okay.
You know. The reactions range from smirks and frowns to, gotta have your book. One response that really gets me is, I was going to write a book. That usually comes with a smirk. Really? Well, you didn't. You was going to write, well, you didn't. Another is, oh, you need to write my life story. Okay. What is happening? Yeah.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
You gonna die. That's it.
That's it. What's happening in your life that people want to read about it?
Nothing.
Yeah. Oh, the man is keeping me down and won't let me get a job. Okay, instead of a book, let's just write you a pamphlet and call it how purple weaves and breasts hanging out have kept you from being unemployed.
Oh, man.
Needless to say, these types never buy my book. And that's all right.
I mean, they don't read.
No, how about that? Evidently. Evidently. That's right. And then there are the quote-unquote educated ones.
Uh-huh.
All right? And I say quote-unquote because I know some educated brothers that have bought my book and really pushed it and what have you. That's that education in quotes. Who can't believe or wrap their heads around the fact that I am a writer. They can't believe I could have anything valid to say, you know? And they asked me 35 questions about the book. Well, damn. Do you want me to read the book to you? Ain't you educated? Buy the damn book and read it yourself.
Nah, it ain't even about that. To me, it's like support.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And this is what I've learned, and I've been doing it for a couple of days. I just dropped my other album out, and my people don't seem to be as enthused about me doing it as white people and other nationalities that want to support, you know, the cause for you to be a better person. And they don't even have to know you. And that's what hurts me the most about our own people. But then when you say, yo, okay, I'm coming out with this product or whatever it is,
right.
Yo, can you support me? I don't know, donation, 50 cents, $1, $10, whatever the donation may be. And they say, nah, I ain't got it, I'm good.
Right.
And then
you know what?
Say, yo, here, take it free. Just spread the word.
There you go, right there. I was hoping
and then they can't even do that. Oh, I'm good. They'll take it and put it in the drawer, throw it away. You know what I'm saying? And then when they think you on top, come and say, yo, come, can you help me out? Can you look up?
Big time.
Listen, that's played out. It's our people has to get out that mentality, period, for real.
Big time.
That's what they see, and that's where they put all of us at, in that category. And we're all not like that.
And the thing that you said is significant is that you give it away. And they still won't listen to it.
Right.
And I know how that is because on occasion, I will give away a free book. You know? And these people won't even read it for free. That's sad. Last but not least are my favorite people. These are the ones that buy the book with enthusiasm, want to sign and walk away as if I gave them a golden gift, displaying an eagerness to read my words. To those people, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude.
That's right.
Thank you for your support.
That's right.
Right.
Me too.
Listen to Nsoromma's CDs. All right? He's a damn good poet. Read my book.
That's right.
Open your mind, increase your vocabulary and capacity to think. Because one of my books will lead you there.
Not only that, when you read the book or when you hear the music, think that this can be you. Because it can be. Whatever it is that you have on your plan and in your roster and on your plate, you know, you can fulfill it. And you can call us and ask us, and we'll give you direction on how to fill it.
That's right.
This is why we're here. We're not only promoting us, we're promoting the way to get, the way to be, the way
where we are.
Right. The way to go to the next level. We want to help you. It's not that we want to put you down and act like we better than you. That's not the key here.
No. And at the risk of sounding boastful, I'm a damn good writer.
That's right, brother.
Buy my book.
Not only you saying that, you got awards and certificates and, you know, all kind of things that back up what you saying. It ain't just going, I'm a good writer. Right. Going, I won this day. I won this for this. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
The road that you take to become who you are, leave evidence of that. So if you don't have that evidence, they know that you're not doing what you say you're doing.
How about that? They're gonna dig it. And listen.
Yeah.
I'm Patrice Gibbs.
Nsoromma in the building.
And as I always tell you, destiny determines who enters your life, but you decide who stays. Therefore, value those who value you, and don't treat those as a priority who treat you as an option. This is the Open Eye.
Yep.
WHGE 95.3 FM.
Yaga! Yo, what's good? I see you. Hey, yo, Will. Hey, yo, William Carter. I call you Bill. What are you talking about? What's good? Amen on the Hebrew holy mean what?